this video, we see about cornea, clinical anatomy and biomechanics and biochemical composition. So cornea has following physical characteristics. It is transparent, it is avascular, watch glass like structure. It forms the anterior 1/6 of the eyeball. Dimensions. Anterior surface of the cornea is elliptical. Horizontal diameter is 11.75 mm and vertical is 11 mm. And posterior surface is spherical with average diameter 11.5 mm. Applied anatomy of corneal diameter. Microcornea is horizontal diameter less than 10 mm in adults. Megalocornea is more than 13 mm in adults. Zones are central zone, paracentral zone and peripheral zone. Central, paracentral and peripheral and small limbal zone. So central zone is central 4 mm radius of curvature, does not vary by more than 1 diopter or 0.05 mm. Paracentral zone is 4 to 8 mm and peripheral zone is 8 to 11 mm and limbal zone is 0.5 mm. Corneal thickness. In the center, corneal thickness is 0.52 mm and in the periphery it is more thicker, 0.67 mm. Applied anatomy is calculation of corneal thickness is important in IOP estimation, and thicker cornea will give falsely high IOP and thinner cornea will give falsely low IOP. Corneal curvature. So radius of curvature on the anterior surface is 7.8 mm, posterior surface is 6.5 mm. So around 8 mm is radius of curvature on the anterior surface. Posterior surface is 6.5 mm. Refractive power of the anterior surface is 48 diopter, posterior surface is -5 diopter. So net refractive power is 43 diopter. Refractive index is 1.376. Applied anatomy of curvature. So keratoconus is if there is central or paracentral cornea, if it is undergoing thinning, it will give the keratoconus. So bulging will occur here. Keratoglobus is cornea is globular, it is generalized thinning. And cornea plana is flat cornea and refractive power is less than 43 diopter, and peripheral corneal thinning is pellucid. So here thinning is the peripheral corneal thinning is pellucid marginal degeneration. So here keratoconus and pellucid marginal degeneration and keratoglobus. So in the histology, cornea we have epithelium, Bowman's membrane, stroma, Descemet's membrane and endothelium. Here this is epithelium, Bowman's epithelium, stroma and endothelium. Above the endothelium we have Descemet's membrane. In the stroma we have collagen fibrils and keratinocytes, and in the endothelium we have water pump which maintains the dehydration state of the cornea. So corneal layers in the slit lamp. So this is tear film 1 and 2 is epithelium, and 3 is anterior stroma, 4 is posterior stroma, 5 Descemet's membrane and endothelium. Cornea develops from the 7th week from the optic cup. So epithelium from surface ectoderm and endothelium mesenchymal cells derived from neural crest cells, and Descemet's membrane from endothelium. Stroma and Bowman's membrane derived from the mesenchymal cells. Epithelium is stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. It continues with bulbar epithelium at the limbus. 50 to 90 micron in thickness, 5 to 6 layer of nucleated cells. They shed at regular intervals and replaced by growth of the basal cells. Entire epithelium is replaced in 6 to 8 days. So 5 to 6 layers of epithelium have flat cells, wing-shaped cells and basal cells. It is non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. So flat cells, these are two most superficial layers attached to one another by tight junctional complex. Anterior cell wall of most superficial cells has many microvilli coated with charged glycocalyx which maintain the tear film stability, allow hydrophilic spread of the tear film with the blink. Umbrella shaped cells are 2 to 3 layer flattened nucleus, less organelles than the basal cell layer. Basal cell layer is single layer of tall columnar polygonal cells stand in palisade-like manner on the basement membrane, and mitochondria are small and few low aerobic oxidation will occur in these cells, and basal cells are firmly attached to the other basal cells and wing cells by the tight intercellular junctions. Transparency and barrier function of the corneal epithelium is performed by these intercellular junctions, and germinative layer of epithelium is basal cell layer. So proliferation of limbal stem cells to desquamation of superficial corneal epithelial cells. So division of slow cycling stem cells. Here the limbal stem cells are there, then they will modify into transient amplifying cells. They migrate centripetally and they undergo cell division and terminal differentiation and shedding. Basement membrane is secreted by the basal cells. Posteriorly blends distinctly with the Bowman's membrane. Anteriorly adhered with basal cells by anchoring or adhesion complex made of hemidesmosomes and type 7 collagen fibril. So here this is the basement membrane. This is secreted by the basal cells. Basal cells will secrete the basement membrane. Posteriorly it blends with the Bowman's membrane. So Bowman's layer, it blends with the Bowman's layer. Anteriorly adhered with basal cells by anchoring complex. Applied anatomy of epithelium. Healthy epithelium repels the dye, fluorescein and rose bengal due to tight interjunctional complexes of superficial epithelial cells. Abnormalities in the epithelial cell adhesions lead to recurrent corneal erosion. Defect in anchoring complex in the basement membrane will give rise to the epidermolysis bullosa. Reduplication of basement membrane will occur in aging and diabetes mellitus. Diffuse damage to the limbal stem cells in case of chemical burns and SJS and pemphigoid and trachoma will lead to chronic epithelial surface defects. Next is Bowman's membrane. So this is acellular homogeneous zone, superficial part of the stroma formed by condensed collagen fibrils. So superficial stroma will form the Bowman's membrane, 8 to 14 microns thickness, composed of randomly packed collagen fibril type 1 and type 5. It is resistant to infection and injury, and it does not regenerate once damaged. So clinical significance is wounds and ulcer penetrate into the Bowman's membrane. New collagen fibrils are produced in irregular pattern during the healing will result in the corneal opacity. Next is stroma, 0.5 mm in thickness, 90% of total cornea is stroma, composed of collagen fibril type 1, 3, 5, 6, and cells are keratocytes, ground substance is proteoglycans. Keratocytes occupy 2 to 4% of stromal volume, flattened cells with long branching processes. So long branching process run parallel to the corneal surface. Function is synthesis of stromal collagen and proteoglycan during development and injury. So collagen fibrils lamella are many layered, 200 to 250, parallel to each other on corneal surface. Anterior 1/3 stroma is oblique orientation, posterior 2/3 stroma is alternating layer of lamella at right angle to each other. So X-ray diffraction study shows parallelly arranged central lamella adopt a concentric configuration at the limbus, forming a weave. Juva's layer or pre-Decimens layer was discovered by Harminder Singh Juva, 15 microns in thickness, acellular and strong and impervious to air. It doesn't extend to the periphery and composed of type 1 collagen, proteoglycans, lumican and mimican and decorin and CD34 negative. Clinical significance is corneal hydrops is bulging of the cornea caused by fluid buildup that occur in patient with keratoconus is caused by tear in the Juva layer. Decimens membrane is basal lamina of corneal endothelium. So, above the corneal endothelium we have Decimens membrane. It consists of collagen and glycoprotein and it regenerates, and thickness varies with the age, 3 micrometer at the birth and 10 to 12 micrometer in the adults. Normally it stays in tension and curls if torn. Peripherally it ends as Schwalbe's line. With the age, round wart-like excrescence are seen in posterior periphery called Hassel-Henle bodies. Similar central excrescence is known as Guttata or first dystrophy. Clinical significance of Decimens membrane. It maintains the integrity of the eyeball even when the stroma is lopped off in severe corneal ulceration by forming descemetous seal. Decimens folds are seen in corneal edema and have striae break in the Decimens membrane seen in congenital glaucoma. Endothelium is hexagonal, non-replicating single layer. Cell density at birth is 6000 per millimeter square. In case of young adult, it is between 2400 to 3000 cells per millimeter square. So, defect left by dying cells is filled with enlargement of the remaining cells. This enlargement is polymegathism. Considerable functional result is 75% of adult age cell. So, firmly bound together by tight interdigitating junctional complexes attached to the Decimens membrane by hemidesmosomes. These linkage, calcium dependent, maintain the barrier function of the endothelium, maintains the water balance of stroma and transparency of cornea by active pump mechanism. Evaluation. Endothelial cell layer can be examined with slit lamp by specular reflection and retroillumination. So this is specular microscopy showing various endothelial cell patterns. Applied anatomy of endothelium. Surgeries affect endothelial cell count. Example, cataract surgery. So minimum count should be 1000 to 1500 and graft of PK. Minimum count should be 2000. In keratoconus or diabetic patients, endothelial morphology changes without decrease in the cell density. And loss of endothelium is seen in first dystrophy, and dysfunction of endothelial pump will lead to corneal edema. Blood supply of cornea. Cornea is avascular. Small loops derived from anterior ciliary vessels invade its periphery for 1 mm and provide nourishment. Clinical significance helps to establish immune privilege that gives some protection against rejection of the graft. Delayed wound healing after corneal ulceration and keratoplasty, and corneal neovascularization is sprouting of the new vessels from the perilimbal capillaries in response to oxygen deprivation. So corneal innervation is via the long posterior ciliary nerve. They forms the corneal epithelial plexus and stromal plexus, and they don't have any myelin sheath. Next is assessing the corneal sensitivity. So can be measured by gently touching the cornea with wisp of a cotton from a swab and initiating the blink response. Quantitatively by esthesiometer. Clinical significance of nerve supply is cornea is very highly innervated, so corneal erosions and ulcers are very highly painful, and loss of corneal sensation can predispose to neurotrophic ulcers as in leprosy and diabetes. Next is biochemical composition of the cornea. So cornea has 78% water and collagen is 15%, of which type 1 is 50 to 55%. Other proteins are 5% and salts are 1%. So epithelium. So water is 70% of the total weight. Protein synthesis is 5 times of the stroma and 2 times of the Descemet's membrane and endothelium. Lipids 5.4% of the dry epithelium, mainly present in the cell membrane. Phospholipids and cholesterols are the lipids. Enzymes necessary for glycolysis and Krebs cycle and active transportation are present in the epithelium. Electrolytes are sodium, potassium and chloride. Others are glutathione, ascorbic acid, cholinesterase. Next is stroma. Water is 75 to 80%, its solid 20 to 25%. Solids, among the solids we have extracellular collagen type 1, 5, 6, 12 and 14. Insoluble proteins are albumin, immunoglobulin and glycoprotein. Proteoglycans are keratin sulfate, chondroitin sulfate and chondroitin. Keratin sulfate constitutes 50%. So play important role in maintenance of corneal hydration level and transparency. Enzymes are glycolytic and Krebs cycle enzyme, matrix metalloproteases. Matrix metalloproteases maintain normal corneal framework and remodeling after the injury. Electrolytes are sodium and chloride. Descemet's membrane, collagen and glycoprotein. Collagen is insoluble and extremely resistant to chemicals and enzymatic actions, accounting for resistance to trauma, chemical agents, infection and barrier to perforation in deep corneal ulcer. Endothelium contain enzymes for glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Cornea transmits nearly 100% of the light that enters it. Corneal transparency is achieved by arrangement of the stromal lamella. There are two theories. Morris theory is transparency of stroma is due to lattice arrangement of the collagen fibrils. He explained because of their small diameter and regularity of separation, backscattered light would be almost completely suppressed by the destructive interface. Goldman theory. He suggested a perfect crystalline lattice periodicity is not always necessary for sufficient destructive interference. He explained if fibril separation and diameter is less than a third of wavelength of the incident light, then almost perfect transparency will ensue. This is the situation which obtains in normal cornea. Other factors for corneal transparency are corneal epithelium and tear film. So epithelium don't have keratin and regular arrangement of the epithelium and junctions between the cells, tight junctions between the epithelial cells, and relative dehydration of the cornea and corneal avascularity and normal non-myelinated nerve fibers. Factors affecting the corneal hydration are stromal swelling pressure exerted by the glycosaminoglycans and barrier function of the epithelium and endothelium. Hydration controlled by active pump mechanism of the corneal endothelium. The enzyme pump system are sodium potassium ATPase and carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Evaporation of water from corneal surface and intraocular pressure. These factors responsible for corneal hydration. Next is corneal biomechanics. So viscoelastic properties of cornea is corneal biomechanics. Elasticity is ability of the substance to deform reversibly under stress. Viscosity is viscous material flow when an external shear force is applied and do not regain their original shape when force is removed. So viscoelastic material is characteristics of both viscosity and elasticity, resulting in energy dissipation when stress is applied. Energy lost in this dissipation process is called hysteresis. Measurement of corneal hysteresis. In vivo non-destructive testing. Ocular response analyzer, a puff of air to deflect the cornea while an infrared beam tracks the changes in the shape of the cornea during inward and outward deviation. Corneal hysteresis is calculated as the difference in the air pressure between force in application P1 and force out application P2. P1 minus P2 will give the corneal hysteresis. Clinical significance of corneal biomechanics. Bowman's layer composed of type 1 collagen fibril is stiffer than underlying stroma proper. while the highly woven anterior stroma is stiffer than non-woven posterior stroma. So blunt dissection of a plane through anterior stroma is more difficult to achieve than the posterior stroma. IOP measurement by automated tonometry is highly influenced by biomechanical property, that is corneal stiffness. Measurement of the biomechanical properties is crucial for detection of subclinical keratoconus, as before corneal curvature or thickness changes due to the disease, corneal stiffness and elasticity is already altered. Patients at risk for developing post-LASIK ectasia can be excluded and surgery can be performed when patients have stiff and stable cornea. So, types of corneal opacity: nebula, macula, adherent glaucoma, and anterior strephuloma. So, nebula is faint scar. We can see the underlying iris details through the nebular scar. Macula, there is significant impairment of the details and opacity is more. Whereas glaucoma, thick white scar will be there. So, here this is nebula and this is macula, this is glaucoma and this is adherent glaucoma. Next is corneal degenerations. Arcus senilis or gerontoxin or Arcus lipoides refers to annular lipid infiltration of the corneal periphery. Here corneal periphery have lipid infiltrations. Next is terrain marginal degeneration is non-ulcerative thinning of the marginal cornea. So it is peripheral degeneration of the cornea. There is no ulcer but thinning of the cornea is there. Next is spheroidal degeneration or Labrador keratopathy or climate droplet keratopathy or Beatty nodular corneal degeneration, relatively common condition. Features are characteristic oil deposits at the limbus which are characterized histologically as Mao globular degeneration and are strongly associated with UV exposure. Salzmann nodular degeneration is a slowly progressive condition in which grey white to bluish nodules measuring 1 to 3 mm are seen in the anterior to Bowman's layer of the cornea. So they are classically round and located in the mid-periphery. Crocodile shagreen, asymptomatic, greyish white polygonal stromal opacity separated by relatively clear spaces. Next is dystrophy. Granular dystrophy type 1. So initial, superficial and central crumb-like opacities, later deeper and peripheral spread will be there, but limbal is spare, limbus is spare, and eventual confluence will occur in granular dystrophy. So keratoplasty if severe is treatment. Macular dystrophy, initial dense, poorly delineated opacities, later generalized opacification and thinning. Treatment is penetrating keratoplasty. Cogan's dystrophy, there will be dots, microcysts, maps and fingerprint appearance. Rees-Buckler is superficial polygonal opacities and honeycomb appearance. Meesmann is tiny epithelial cysts and maxillary centered and they are clear in retroillumination. Schindler dystrophy is subepithelial crystalline opacities. Treatment is excimer laser keratectomy. Lattice dystrophy, fine spidery branching lines within the stroma. Later generalized haze may submerge the lesions. Treatment penetrating keratoplasty if severe. Hodge endothelial dystrophy, gradual increase in the corneal data with peripheral spread, later central stromal edema and eventual bullous keratopathy. Treatment is penetrating keratoplasty if advanced. Next is corneal transplantation technique. So penetrating keratoplasty, all the corneal layers are transferred. Dahl case, only superior corneal layers are transferred. DMA case, only deep corneal layers are transferred. So diseased or injured cornea, we have to take corneal button to be removed and clear donor cornea button we have to insert and we have to suture it. So donor tissue should be removed as early as possible, like 6 to 12 hours of the death. Corneas from infants 2 years or under are rarely used because of refractive and surgical problems. It should be stored under sterile condition. Evaluation, medical history review and donor blood screening to exclude contraindication, and microscopic examination of the cornea including endothelial cell count determination. So glass jar storage of the whole enucleated placed in the storage. This is tissue culture media on the left was first developed by Macaire Kaufman. Corneal preservation. Short term, up to 2 days, whole globe is preserved at 4 degrees in a moist chamber. In up to 2 weeks, intermediate storage, Macaire, Kaufman, MK medium, and various chondroitin sulfate enriched media such as Optisol medium are used. Long term storage up to 35 days, it is done by organ culture method. Contraindications for donation of the corneal tissue: absolute or rabies, HIV, syphilis, and viral hepatitis and septicemia, prior high risk behavior for HIV and hepatitis, and infectious disease of CNS, Creutzfeldt-Jakob. Relative are most hematological malignancy, ocular disease such as inflammation and malignancy, death of unknown cause, and congenital rubella and tuberculosis. Thank you.